Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech Communication Skills for All Ages. I'm Nyla Godbold, and today I will be providing you with some helpful tips and advice on how to navigate our new normal in the world of technology. And of course, I will be connecting it to health and healthcare in the future slides. So here we have the future, and now as scary as that can be, I assure you it will be to the benefit of us all. So we have telehealth. So as you can see in this picture, there is a doctor on a phone and they are obviously helping a patient, but not in person, through a phone, through an app. And according to NEJM Catalyst, telehealth is defined as the delivery and facilitation of health and health-related services, including medical care, provider and patient education, health information services, and self-care telecommunications, and other type of communication technologies. And again, this will be our new normal, especially ever since the COVID-19 pandemic struck us about a year ago. And I'm sure some of you here as well have had instances or aspects throughout this year where you've actually had experience with telehealth. And I would love and I wish I could be able to hear your input and opinions on this topic, but I, regardless, will be sharing the pros and the advantages to telehealth in the future slides. So here I have 5 different advantages and tips in regards to telehealth. So in regards to flexibility, you can honestly create your own time schedule, you can create your own appointments, and it can be all from the comfort of your home. And so as I put here at the bottom, it is accommodable and convenient. So for me at least, or with adults and even senior citizens, our schedules are very tight and it is really difficult to try and squeeze in half an hour to commute and to have somebody take you to the appointment and to plan the whole technical aspects around just wanting to hear from your healthcare provider. So I think it is so much easier now to just hop on a Zoom for half an hour or an hour and talk about any issues or concerns you have on the spot in the comfort of your home, as I said, on a computer. All you need is a computer or even a phone. And I just think it's so much more easier. I think it's more private and secure. As I put here, you have a secure site and a portal. So a majority of healthcare providers have a portal you can access, and you just create an account and you can access all your clinical history, your patient history, any notes or comments from past appointments, and it's a great connection between the patient and provider because it's a direct site that everyone has access to and you can add input or opinions. And I think I actually know and I believe that examinations and checkups and evaluations are much, much easier. And I feel as if you're able to be more intimate and more open over a screen. As ironic as that sounds, I think you can have more of an effect. Oh my God. You can have more of an effective conversation and really make it so at the end of the time you feel like you've taken much more than you would in person, because as we know, you have to sit in the waiting room, you have to hear from the techs first and maybe even the nurses, and it can be a very lengthy, daunting process. And I or anyone, I wouldn't want you to miss out on the opportunities you can withhold. So here we are now to talk about Zoom etiquette. So these are how to be proper on Zoom or on your Zoom call for whether it's telehealth or school or your job. And so to start off, it's to be on time. It only makes sense. You plan this into your time schedule. You plan this hour, half an hour of time in your day along everything else to have this appointment and have this time to talk to your healthcare provider. And it only makes sense that you would show up on time, especially since you were the one having the healthcare concerns in question. So again, it's just common sense, it's respectful and mature, and just set an alarm for half an hour and then 20 minutes and then maybe 10 minutes prior to the appointment, so that way you can hop on earlier in case there's any computer glitches or Zoom difficulties, because of course that can always happen. We cannot control the scientific and technological side of computers, and honestly, sometimes the site might have crashed or the site might be slow, and you just have to take into account that you need extra time. So hop on a little bit early because it's better to be safe than sorry. Turn on your camera. That creates for a more intimate and private interaction, as I was saying, especially if it's only you in the call. It makes sense to show yourself and to show the places or maybe parts that you have concerns about in order to be examined and evaluated. And again, private portals, so nobody strange or random will hop on at some point. And I think it's great because it shows that you're not just a robot on the other side. You're a real human with a personality and a face and a character and a personality. And it's great to see the charisma and the joy or sadness on people's face when they come into these appointments. Sit still. Antsiness is a distraction, and honestly, showing that you don't have the attention span or the maturity to sit on the call. And so just sitting still, have a comfortable seat or a pillow behind you. I know that's what I do, and it helps a lot because sitting in this upright position can be tiring after a little bit of time. So just having a comfortable area or environment around you, even to sit up, but sit still and not be super anxious or tense. Don't eat on the call, especially if you're unmuted. Do not eat. It's rude and disrespectful, especially if you're crunching on something that everyone can hear. I know majority of people use Bluetooth now, so it's not coming from the computer speaker, but a headset or AirPod, for example, and you can hear everything. It will sound like ASMR, which I don't know if you know what ASMR is, but it's the art, I guess you could say, of eating food into a microphone and then posting that for all to hear and see. And some people can find it helpful. It helps with ADHD and anxiety for some, but others for not. And either way, if you don't know their preferences, or again, for a teleconference, for a telehealth, I would not ever be eating because of the fact that you will be too busy explaining your concerns and needs. Interrupting again is key, especially since you are the patient. You want to be heard. You want to make sure the provider knows why you're there, why they are taking the time to have this checkup with you. And so, if there are more than one person or people, you can obviously put in the chat, may I speak, and ask for permission. But if not, it's great to just unmute yourself and speak up and be heard, and opinions and input are greatly appreciated. Close the door and be in a secluded, quiet space. You don't want to be having distractions from your pets or your kids, or I know sometimes in the afternoon you'll have lawnmowers or trucks or cars, and of course some of these things are out of your control, but if you plan ahead and try and give yourself the atmosphere that is more quiet and intimate and secure, it'll end up being the happier experience. And lastly, just know multitasking. You shouldn't have any open tabs open. You shouldn't be online shopping or watching Netflix or playing a game. It's just, again, common sense and respect that somebody's taking the time out of their day and their career to help you and they want to assist you. And if this is with a job or school, you should be wanting to learn and take input or provide some to the table and not basically be a distraction, because if you aren't willing to contribute, you might as well just not attend the meeting and hop off. So I would not recommend having other tabs opened, even though you might seem productive or you might seem like you're helping yourself out in a way. You're not, because you planned this into your day knowing ahead of time that you would have this chunk of time specifically to go towards that appointment or that meeting. So I would not, only because you planned this, and again, not giving your full attention or respect to the host and co-host. Here is how to all things Zoom. So here, as you can see, I have a template of a Zoom screen. You have your 4 participants, your mute, your stop or turn on your video, your participants, your chat, your share screen, your record, and your reactions. And so first, I'm going to talk about the participants. So as of right now, you just have this individual, you can see they're muted and their camera is off. And now normally when you have a whole bunch of participants, you can see all of them and it'll tell you if they have their camera on or they are muted or not. And at the bottom here, you have some controls that as a participant you can press and the host will be able to see it at the corner of your screen. You'll actually be pushed to the top of the participants channel. And so if you have a question or you want to say yes, no to speed up or go slower, you can just press on these controls and they'll see your request and either ask you to unmute or they'll just address it mutedly, I guess you could say, or in the chat. Next, we have the chat, as I was just talking about, where everyone is able to see what you want to comment or say if you have it selected to everyone. Now, if you want to chat, let's say to the host directly or even a participant directly, you just have to press on this arrow and they have a list of options and you can just select the person you want to press and you can type your message here and it sends it directly to them. It's called a private message or a PM. Up next, you have your reactions. So you have the clapping emojis, you have the thumbs up, the heart, the laughing out loud, the shocked, and the celebration. And of course, you can press on any of them to show your reaction and your emotions without directly wanting to speak or unmute yourself, which I think is a great idea that Zoom created because at least for school and jobs, if you have a couple hundred people in the Zoom and you're reacting to something all at the same time, it can be incredibly chaotic and loud and noisy. And I think this is a great way to just show like you like it or you're applauding or you're shocked or you're blushing over something or something's very cute, like somebody showing a pet, for example, or just a picture on the screen. So I think this is a great way again to show your emotions without directly speaking about it. Here is the share screen tab. So let me go back actually. So this is the green little arrow here. You see it says share screen. And so what you do is you click on it and you have this option of your tabs and you can connect to your iPhone or iPad. And all you want to do is choose the tab you want to project. So for example, whoever this is wanted to share their screen number 2. So you just press on it. And then for me, I do this every time, but again, it is up to the individual person. I always share my computer sound because I know that I will want to project, let's say, a recording or a screen recording or a YouTube video. And so the audio has to be shared and transferred to the other end, to the other people. And I know that if I don't, I'm going to be the only one that can hear it. So share computer sound makes it so everyone can hear the same audio you can hear. I just want to say thank you to everyone. This has been the honor. I'm so glad to have brought in a perspective of a teenager, of a Gen Z, I guess you could call me. The point is that it is a more modern take on healthcare, and obviously school and jobs are mostly online right now, and if they're not, they are hopefully being safe and cautious about their protocols. And I thank you for coming, and I hope you found my tips insightful. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day and are enjoying the health fair and the other speakers and their topic. Bye!